Today's June 22nd, 2022. Yesterday, Nikki and I went to Vernon Center, Minnesota and picked up this 1935 Farmall F-20. It's been a Minnesota tractor its whole life. It's engine stuck, clutch is stuck, but other than that, it looks to be in pretty good shape. Got a Heisler manifold, so they changed it sometime way back when off the kerosene and put it just Heisler. So it's gasoline only. And then this strap, I figured out what it's for. So come over to this side.
Okay.
That strap runs underneath, comes up over here. It keeps the corn stalks from knocking these open and draining your oil.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this is the tractor as you got it. So we just got it yesterday.
Yeah.
What else have you noticed about it?
Well, it all seems to be pretty good. It's pretty straight. What made me get it is it had the smooth top, and normally these are 35s. And I wanted a gray F-20. So if you look here, you can see some gray paint everywhere on it. It's been repainted. You can see a couple of times. You can see decals over here on the oil filters. Has a Thresherman's overdrive on it.
So 36 is the first year they went red?
Yeah, 36. Somewhere, I think it was like the early part of 36, like sometime in the spring is what everybody kind of says. It's got a pretty fancy seat on it. It's got the PTO extension with the shield on it, which is cool. It's got somebody's old ironing board here for a step. And it's got a pretty neat umbrella holder on it that I haven't ever seen before. That's kind of a cool setup. Both brakes work good. The steering brakes work good. Drawbar's a little loose, but I can tighten it up. That's no biggie. I got really good pedal on the brakes, actually. They lock up really good. So right here's locked up. So I'm only moving it about, an inch on the stick, inch and a half, which is really good. So it's been switched over. They put the sawtooth throttle on it. They did a conversion on it to make it, adjustable governor. There are some things it needs, like I'm gonna have to put a spring or something on here to tighten this up. But right now it's stuck, and like all these old F-20s and regulars and F-30s, the clutch is stuck. I'm sure mice got in there and built them a home in it. This tractor's been in Minnesota its whole life, according to the guy I bought it from.
It's got an original gauge.
Yeah, it's got a really nice gauge on it. F4 Farmall carb or mag, which is nice. Everything seems to be pretty decent on it. The steering, when I was driving it, where she was pulling me, it's nice and tight. It doesn't have any excessive slop. Just seems like a pretty solid old tractor to start. Seeing what we can figure out, if I can be able to get into that engine and get it freed up and see what it looks like underneath the head. It's all matching numbers, and the number on it is 13952. So that's pretty early.
So when
in 1935.
When you say matching numbers, where do you read them?
There's a number right here on that plate. There's a number right here on the frame, and a number right here on the block. So that means the plate, the frame, and the block all have the same number, so that means the engine's never been changed in it. So I'm sure it'll have a bunch of surprises in it like they all do, but right now it seems to be a pretty solid old tractor. It's a really good candidate for trying to bring it back to life.
So the mystery, though, is what is going on inside the engine, right?
Yeah, that's the big one. It's stuck. Said it was shedded for a long time. It wasn't shedded when I got it, so who knows? You can kind of take that with a grain of salt. Everybody says it ran last time they drove it, and that could have been 80 years ago, so you really never know. So what I'll do is I'll pop the hood off of it, take the valve cover off, make sure none of the rockers are stuck and none of the valves are stuck, and then I may even just start out by popping the head off of it and looking down in the cylinder. First thing I'll probably do is pull the plugs and stick my borescope in there and see how bad it looks. The guy said he sprayed some stuff in it, but everybody's got their magic spray, and
including
sometimes
you,
it works,
right?
sometimes it don't. Yeah. So
Anything else that you look at when you're
Yeah, I look at the radiator, looks like it's in really good shape. You look at it from the inside, it looks good. If you look at it from the outside, it looks really good.
It does. It doesn't have very many bent fins at all, does
No
it?
holes really, so it looks pretty good. You can see where this tractor's worked. You can see where the water sloshed out of it, and it's gotten warm, so they've used it. But it's got relatively newer plugs in it. They're and they were like this. They were loose when I went and got the tractor, so that's where he sprayed his stuff. But it's a Champion W14, so they're not horribly old, so that kind of gives me a little hope that in the last, 20 or so years, somebody's actually tried to have it running and had it running. If that's the case, it might make it a little easier than starting with one that hasn't ran in 30 or 40 years. So that one's a little contrary. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But anyway, I don't know why they had to drill all so many holes in the toolbox. Who knows? You never know what guys do. There it goes. I got her started then. So yeah, I mean it's a solid old working tractor. I'm anxious to get into it, tear into the mag, tear into the block, engine, gearbox, clutch. As much as I hate doing them, like all of them, it needs a seal back here on the belt pulley. Got a pretty good oil leak up on the front somewhere, and actually probably needs a new seal on the back PTO. It looks pretty wet back there. So, but I'm anxious to get started on it. I think it's going to be fun. So I just finished up pressure washing it for the 4th time, and what I did is I just sprayed diesel on it and let it sit for a while in the sun, and come out and pressure wash it, let it dry, spray diesel, let it sit, spray, pressure wash it, and I've gotten about 50 pounds of crap off the front of the engine. I got a leak. This engine's got a leak in the front somewhere. I don't know, timing cover, governor assembly somewhere. It leaked a lot of oil out, and it got a lot of oil stuck all over the grease and dirt and grit stuck all over the front of the engine. The pedestal's got a leak. Probably just do it like everybody else and fill it with the corn head grease. That'll keep it from leaking. It's thick enough that it don't leak, and it's thin enough that you can still steer it in the winter. What I did notice is that there's a lot of gray paint coming back. There's red paint's coming off. You can see a lot of the original gray right here on the block and around here on the frame, bell housing. So this was like I thought it was a gray tractor to begin with. So it's cleaning up pretty well. It's still stuck on the number 3 cylinder stuck, and the clutch is stuck, but I've got my special sap in there trying to break it free, and I'll probably end up taking the head off of it and going at it that way.
Yeah, you ran a scope in each of them, didn't you?
I did. I put my bore scope in each of them, and there was somebody else's special sap was poured in all of them, and it was empty, had it in it, and empty. So that tells me that this is the one that was stuck. That's number 3 cylinder. So I'm just gonna mess with it, get it loosened up, see what I can do. But it's cleaning up nice. It's gonna be a good tractor, I think. I'm a bit filthy, but that's what happens. It's better to get it off, for me, I think it's better to get it off outside than it is to get it off in the barn where you gotta clean it up. So that's what I'm doing. So there's not a whole lot of leaks. In the back end, the PTO seals out. Leaks just like all of them. Belt pulley seal leaks, but the 3rd member differential cover wasn't really all that dirty, so it didn't have much of a leak. There's no goop underneath the fuel tank, so that tells me that it's dry. It's holding some old cruddy fuel, so that's good. I haven't popped into the hand holes yet inside the block. I thought I'd wait till I pulled it in the barn and take a video of it, and we could all look at it together at the same time. And that's what got me to cleaning it. There's so much crap on the outside of the block, you couldn't hardly see the hand holes anymore. So I figured, yeah, I better wash it. So, yeah, pretty cool.